Okay, it looks good. Looks good. Everything seems to be working. We'll just wait for someone to pop on, shall we? If you're there, say hi. Don't leave me hanging all by myself here. Okay, let's start it with a promo and then we'll get started. Okay, don't be shy. If you're there, say hi. Tell me if you can hear me. Tell me where you are. Tell me tell me what's on your mind. Where are you? Where in the world are you? And can anyone actually hear me? Am I actually plugged in or am I just talking to myself? Okay, there we go. So we're having some glitches there. Oh, you've all come on at the same time there. Hi. Hello. Hello. Hi. Nina, Alison, Demo Flow, Chris Gill, Frankie Teardrop Goes to Hollywood. Hi. Hi, I hope you're all doing well, guys, wherever you may be in the world. Could you just tell me how's it sounding? Sound is okay? Can you hear okay? Everything okay? Ah, there's Tony Duncan. I was going to say, where is Tony? Tony, are you for real, or are you just like you're like an AI? You're a robot, aren't you? Yes, Tony, the man who never sleeps. I always start my live streams off with Tony. Tony, can you hear me? How's the sound? What do we need? More bass? More treble? More volume? Less volume? Tell me what we need. Hello. They're all coming in now. Hello, Michael. Hello, Chris. Lloyd, sold out. Hello, sir. Saturday's a good time for you. Nina says you look younger every time. Wow, thank you. Must be this cosmetic surgery I'm going for. No, that's not. No, thank you. Combination of, I don't know what it is, but thank you. I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you. Getting ready for work, Tony. Oh, no. Stop working, Tony. You work too hard. How's the sound, guys? Everything all right? Can you hear me okay? sound is loud enough? Darren from Israel. Oh, wow. How are you doing, Darren? Yes, I do, and I sent the book to you. That's right. Yes, I remember that, the Mode book, because there weren't many that went to Israel, so I do remember that, actually. I think yours was the only one, Darren, that went to Israel. Hi, guys. Peter, thank you, Peter. Peter says sound is good. Allegra, bonjour, mademoiselle. Jolie mademoiselle. I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to try and speak French. I can speak a little bit of gibberish in various different languages. I'm trying to still brush up on my Estonian because I've been living here for almost a year now, and I still am not really picking it up. So, okay, good. Alison says, love the new haircut. Thank you. Yeah, we've done away with a quiff. Yeah, we've decided to go more for the, I suppose, the out-of-bed messy look. Whatever. So it's time for a change, I guess. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm glad you can all hear me. I've actually got some structure to this live stream, actually. I've said I've really wanted to do more with live streams, and I'm pleased to tell you that there's going to be a little bit more structure to that. I've actually got a bit of a program for you today, believe it or not. So no off-topic chickens and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's always off-topic chickens, and of course, if you're part of this community, you know what the off-topic chicken is. If you don't know what the off-topic chicken is, dig a bit deeper and you will find out. So we do actually have a sort of like a format, should we call it, on today's show, so to speak. But so let's run through that at the moment. So this is obviously going out live now. The local time is 4:10 here in Tallinn, Estonia. And if you're joining in, please let me know where you are. Welcome to wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. And let me just tell you what the run-through is for today's little show. I'm going to start off with a few shout-outs, and the shout-outs are going to be to friends of the channel with releases and things like that. I'm also going to run through some stuff that I'm listening to, because I know some of you are very keen on what I'm listening to and things, some of you care what I'm listening to, so I thought, okay, I'll tell you what I'm listening to. And hopefully that way we can discover new artists together, because I'd like to hear your feedback as well. I'm then going to go into what I'm up to, what's in store for the channel, and a few shout-outs and things like that. So I have got a bit of a structure here. And if you're not able to watch this live stream live now, this video after this live stream will go up onto YouTube, and you can catch up with it afterwards. And then feel free to leave comments and everything underneath. So, how have you all been, guys? I hope you're all well. This year has gone fast, and I think, with everything that's happening at the moment, it's all very exciting. But I want to remain on track and focused, because I want to remain on track and focused, and I want to take some of your questions as well afterwards. So I just want to say hello to a few more people there. Peter, Darren, hello from Ukraine. Hello, brother. How are you doing? I can't read your name there. If you give me the English version of your name, I'd love to give you a shout out. Alison, Allegra, Demoflow. Yes, we have a full international house here, just the way I like it. Okay, so let's start off with a few a bit of housekeeping first. So first things first. I have, if you are not aware of it, I have started a Substack. I've put my attention to a bit of journalism, and that really was, I must be honest, and a shout out to Carla Groom, good friend of mine, and well-known face on the channel. She's been doing some quality journalism. She's not a music journalist. She's just tried her hand at it, and writing a few articles for gigs that she's been to. And check out Carla's Substack. It's very, very good. And I must say that is what has inspired me to have a go at, a bit of journalism as well. As I say, I'm not a music journalist, but I have a few articles up on Substack at the moment, and that'll be an ongoing thing and a growing thing as well. There is, of course, watchvg.com, which is my inside members area for those of you who love my content and would like to take it a little bit further. You can find ad-free versions of all the content there, including the Depeche Mode album review series, all in depth without adverts and stuff. I've also started a separate YouTube channel called the Depeche Mode Hub. So if you're part of the Vaughn George YouTube channel, please go over to Depeche Mode Hub and sign up there. The reason I've done that is because I love Depeche Mode, but I'm a little bit Depeche Mode fatigued at the moment, and I just want to explore other things on this main channel here. But for those of you who still love Depeche Mode, and as I do, you will find all my content on the new Depeche Mode Hub. Now, we will still talk about Depeche Mode here on this main channel, but I do want to branch into other areas as well, and that's why I felt Depeche Mode deserves its own channel. So you can find that on the Depeche Mode Hub on YouTube. Right, okay, so also something else that's in the pipeline, I've spoken about this before, and that is the here it is here, the interpretations show. My very first interpretations show is now booked in Oberhausen on the 28th of December, and this really starts, this is for those of, forgive me for those of you who've heard this before, but for those of you who aren't aware, obviously this all started with me doing the breakdowns of Depeche Mode albums, and then I would always demonstrate the songs on piano, to which a lot of you said, oh wow, that sounds great, and then I got a bit cocky and I started singing as well. And you guys said, oh, we like that as well. So I went, oh, okay. So I can now officially announce that I am going to release a interpretations piano album. This will go on Spotify, and that's just playing instrumental interpretations of Depeche Mode songs, as I do on my album review series, and I'm busy working on that, and that will be up on Spotify as soon as I've released them. But now this show here, which is the show in Oberhausen on the 28th of December. This is an interpretation show, and what that is an evening where you can come and see me performing live. I'm performing Depeche Mode songs just on piano, and so I'm just singing them and playing them. It's a combination between instrumental and vocal songs. Now, once again, this is not a tribute act. I'm not going up there trying to look like Martin, or Martin, you kinky bastard. Or I'm not trying to sound like Martin or look like Martin or Dave. This is not a tribute act. This is just me going up there, meeting you guys, and singing my favorite Depeche Mode songs completely acoustically, no backing tracks. So yeah, I better rehearse. So yeah, an evening with me singing Depeche Mode songs, my favorite Depeche Mode songs, and some of yours as well, on piano. So completely honest, naked, well, not literally, but, just no lights and stuff, just a dark room, dark room, and intimate, and just the whole idea with the interpretation show is to strip the songs, I see what you did there, strip the songs back completely to their core, as we do on the album review series, and so it's just piano and vocal, and that is something I'm really looking forward to. I'm a little bit nervous because it's very different to going up on stage with Mesh, because then there's the four of us, but going onto a stage in front of people with just a piano, I'm going to need all the support I can get, so thank you. The tickets for the Oberhausen show, that is in Cult Temple in Oberhausen, das ist gut, ja, I'm learning my German. The tickets are selling quite well, and it's going to be a seated event and a venue. If you've got any questions, just fire me an email at info@vorti.com, or you can contact Jan at Plusveld. Haha. But no, contact me if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to answer. Now, also, what I'm going to be doing is for my inner circle members at watchvg.com, I'm going to be doing a special meetup, like a live stream meetup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a live rehearsal on Zoom. So if you're a member of watchvg.com, you can log in and we can have a drink together virtually here on Zoom. And I'm going to sing some of the Depeche Mode songs that I'm going to be performing at the Oberhausen event, and that way you can listen to it, and I would welcome your feedback. So it's kind of like I'm going to have a camera set up, and I'm going to be doing a rehearsal with you guys watching. So if you're interested in that, then do consider joining watchvg.com. And that is, of course, a great way to support the channel and to get closer to me if you're into that kind of thing. Well, I don't mean it like that. Cut, but you know what I mean. If you want a close connection. Okay, so that's good. How are we doing so far? I've actually got a format going here. It's amazing. Okay, great. So I want to get onto a few shout-outs now. So this is shout-outs for friends of the channel and everything. So if we start off here. First shout-out goes to friends of the channel, Psychelectric. Now, Psychelectric are Greg and Nick. They actually supported Mesh. They supported us when we did our Berlin show. They were really one of my favorite support acts we had in the Mesh show so far. And shout out to Psychelectric. They've got a new single out called Before You Fall. Now, they are really, really, really fun to watch. They come on dressed in sort of like lab coats, and they really, really are very, very good, and they're not taking themselves too seriously. Great songs, great energy. Check out Psychelectric, and they're with a new single as well, Before You Fall. Really, really good guys, and really, really worth checking out. Okay, so I just want to segue into something which is slightly different to what you guys know me talking about on the channel. And as I say, I do want to throw my net a little bit wider than just Depeche Mode. No disrespect, I love Depeche Mode, but there are so many other things I want to talk about, and which I'm sure you'll find interesting. Now, coming back to Psychelectric, you'll see there's Greg, who's the front man, and then you've got Nick, who plays the keyboards and sings as well. Nick is actually, I think his day job now, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, he works with tour management. He manages tours as part of his day job, and he's currently looking after an artist called Joe Jackson. Now, I've spoken about Joe Jackson once on the channel. Joe Jackson, there we go. Joe Jackson, that's of course not Joe Jackson as in Michael Jackson's father, but of course Joe Jackson, the artist from the 1980s. Now, this video, which you can see over here, Joe Jackson's Stepping Out, I released this video about 4 years ago on the channel, and that Stepping Out song from Joe Jackson. If any of you know Joe Jackson, I think a lot of you will know Joe Jackson for the song Stepping Out, and what was the other song? Is she really going out with him? But there is so much more to Joe Jackson. I know Joe Jackson's on tour at the moment, and that's why I'm talking about this, and that's why my friend Nick, who's in Psychelectric, he's actually, I believe, involved with the tour management as well, so I thought that brings it together. Also, one thing worth mentioning about Joe Jackson is Joe Jackson was photographed by my dear friend and the late great photographer Brian Griffin, who did his album cover for Look Sharp, which was just the shoes. I should have actually had the picture up here. But if you just Google up Joe Jackson Look Sharp, you will see that iconic album cover with just his shoes. And interesting, with anything that Brian Griffin touched became iconic. And it was interesting when I spoke to Brian, and in fact, I'll probably address this in a video later, was when I think Joe Jackson was a little bit annoyed by the fact that Brian said, "Oh, we're going to just photograph your shoes," and this was for the Look Sharp album or single. Yeah, Look Sharp. The album was called Look Sharp, and you can imagine you're an artist and you have your shoes on the album cover. But that was typical Brian Griffin. He was just so good at seeing things completely different. And of course, that the I wish I had the picture up here, but Google it up. Joe Jackson Look Sharp. That image became iconic within its own right. So anyway, back to Joe Jackson. Check out this video I did, which was my analysis of Stepping Out. You babe stepping out into the light, into the light. In that analysis video, which I did about 4 years ago, I was trying to point out that although that song was released in a very up-tempo kind of disco-y dance format, once stripped back onto piano and done in a ballad form, which I've seen him do, it works very, very well. So Joe Jackson, really, really, I won't say one of my favorite artists, but an artist that I really, really appreciate, and you should check him out. He is on tour, on his world tour at the moment, and he's currently in the UK, and some of the dates are going to come up here now. Once again, there's the the video of mine you can watch for the analysis of Stepping Out. And here are some of the dates here. There we go. Bath, London, Belfast. Yeah, pity I'm not going to be able to see him. But yeah, that might surprise some of you that I'm a Joe Jackson fan. He's a very, very good, very underrated musician, so check him out. Okay, so let's go on to some more shout-outs and friends of the channel. And this shout-out goes to Agency V. I went to see Agency V in Chelmsford in September. There we go, there's a photo of them. And I saw them at the Hot Box in Chelmsford along with Tin Gun and Psychoelectric. And there we go, there's a photo of me with lead singer Marie. Agency V have just released their new single and their music video, which is Pray for the Sun. You can check it out on YouTube now. And a special shout out to Marie and Peter Steer from Agency V. Okay, another shout out from friends from the channel. And this shout out goes to Mr. Daryl Bamonte. Oh, sorry. It's Daryl Bamonte. I always say Bamonte. He corrected me. He said it's Bamonte. Daryl Bamonte, not Bamonte. So anyway, shout out to friend of the channel, Daryl Bamonte. Now, Daryl Bamonte, who is he? Unfortunately, I could not. There's not many photos of him online. Sorry, Daryl. That's the only photo I could find of you online. He's very private. Now, Daryl has just his latest single in his act Hence, and the track is called We Like This Tune Because It's Longer and We Like to Dance. What a great name for a song. We like this tune because it's longer. We like to dance. Now, this is typical of Daryl. He's very he's got a great sense of humor. If you've seen Daryl on the Depeche Mode. What were those Depeche Mode re-release? The Depeche Mode re-release series where they did those documentaries and they did all those interviews. Daryl Bamonte, along with Andy Franks. Andy Franks is the guy who goes, "Okay, start the tape." Yeah. So of course, when you watch those interviews, particularly the conversations between Daryl Bamonte and Andy Franks, the chemistry between them is just so good, and you can see the banter is razor sharp. So Daryl Bamonte, obviously, you recognize him from the especially from the 101 video. He's been a friend of Depeche Mode for many years, and I believe he was in school with them. He was, I think, or he's from Basildon as well. So he's a friend of Martin and Dave and Fletch and all of them, and so his new music is out. His latest song called under the name Hence, and the song, I'm just going to read this. There we go. The song's called We Like This Tune Because It Is Long and We Love to Dance. So I just love that title, and so check it out if you like sort of modular synth kind of music. That'll be completely up your street. Right, so that completes the shout-outs for the channel. I will be doing more sort of shout-outs later on. And then, of course, you guys can let me know what you think of this format of this Watch VG. I like this because it gives you something to watch rather than me just waffling on here. Right, so I'm now going to go on to what I'm listening to right now. So I came across this recently just on Spotify. This really, I really took a liking to this. This is an artist called, is it Ari Mason or Ari Mason? Ari Mason. It's electronic music. I believe she's an artist based in LA. I may well reach out to her for an interview. Check her out on Spotify. This really just popped up on my feed. On Spotify, my Spotify suggests, and I really liked it. It's electronic, and it's done in a very it's done in a very sort of nostalgic kind of way, but not in a typically nostalgic way. And check out her single Dressed for Space. Really like that, and of course that was the first song that I heard, and then I went on to listen to a few more, and I'm really into it at the moment. So that is what I'm listening to at the moment, and that is Ari Mason. Check her out yeah, check her out. And I may well reach out to her for an interview if she's up for it. Really, really worth listening to. And according to Wikipedia, she's also a Grammy-nominated artist, and her voice is just incredible. So do check her out. Right, something I'm listening to as well at the moment. Well, it's not true. I've listened to it for the first time this morning, and that is Tears for Fears are back. Yes, they have a new album coming out, which is called Songs for a Nervous Planet. So not long ago that when they released the Tipping Point, the last album, and now they're back. And full disclaimer, I listened to their single Astronaut the first time this morning. Roland's voice just gets better. I mean, it's just so soulful. Astronaut is an interesting choice for a single. It's a very, very laid back. Then again, Tears for Fears are very established. They don't really need to prove anything. They've kind of got their fan base already, and there's nothing to prove. So because they have got a huge following, they can essentially put out what they like. What did I think of the single? Good. I will need to listen to it a few more times. I think it's one of those songs that'll grow on you. Roland's vocal just blows me away. I mean, he's just developed such subtlety over the years, and he's always had subtlety, but he's always had power. But his voice seems to be getting better, and not many artists can say that. So yeah, definitely do check out the new single from Tears for Fears. I'm looking forward to the album, and I will review it when it comes out. That is, of course, the single, and that is the album cover for Astronaut. Now, I do have a complaint, and it's a huge complaint. Interesting. Well, it's not a huge complaint. It's a bit of a gripe, really. I believe, according to all the media and the hype and the press and everything, that the album cover for this single was AI generated. Now, you guys know my feelings on AI. I know I need to brush things up and get into AI. I understand that. I'm like an old man ranting. AI just really scares me. If you go onto my Substack, I wrote an article on AI based on Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian's. Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian. He put up there was a YouTube video of him at a college making a speech, and he was talking about AI, and he said AI is kind of like the opposite to the Nike slogan. You know the Nike slogan, just do it. He said the AI is the opposite to that. It just means you just can't do it. And Jerry Seinfeld went on to say things that really resonated with me, and it was things like, he said that AI is the most embarrassing thing we've ever invented. So do read my article on Substack, and I have linked to that video of Jerry Seinfeld. It's really, really interesting. Now, AI is a huge thing. We cannot piss against the wind. We can't fart against thunder. Excuse the terms. But yeah, I'm very, very resistant to it. And so when Tears for Fears decided they were going to have their artwork done. Oh, sorry, Daryl, not you. There we go. When Tears for Fears decided they were going to have their album cover generated by artificial intelligence, I'm a bit like, no, why did you do that? But I have to say, it looks pretty good. It does look very AI in a way, doesn't it? It's got that sort of glassy sheen, processed look. But it's got the sunflowers in there. And, the sunflowers, of course, from sowing the seeds of love, everybody. Oh, sowing the seeds of love. Yeah, the sunflowers. And, yeah, it was interesting. I saw someone posted that album cover on Facebook somewhere in one of these forums, and said that it was AI generated, and a lot of the fans were just like, "Oh, I can't believe they did that." Now, I'm not stirring up hate, or I'm not saying, "Oh," I'm just saying a bit disappointing, because I think as some people argued, it takes away a job from a designer. But if you look at in Tears for Fears' argument, they're probably going, okay, well, they're probably just, I won't say cashing in, but they're kind of probably just going with the times now. And why not, I suppose? Why not? Anyway. But I know Duran Duran did that a while ago as well, when they had this, what was that, their last album, Future Past? One of the singles was, the music video was AI. And I know that because if I could get, well, in the words of Nick Rhodes, we always like to be current, and we like to always push the frontiers and remain current with the kids on the street, because despite the fact that we're getting on, I mean, we all are, we like to remain current and push the frontiers of sound. Yeah, anyway, so, there's all that remaining relevant and all that kind of stuff. And I sometimes look at these older guys that have been going for a long time. And when I say older, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but these icons, and there are icons who've been going for a long time. And I'm just like, don't pander to all these movements and all this. Don't try and be cool and hip. Just do what you do. And so maybe I'm over explaining this, the album cover. It looks nice, but and that's just me being. I might change my mind on AI, but at the moment I'm just very, very reactionary and resistant to it. Okay, so those are two things that I'm sort of listening to at the moment. There was the Ari Mason, check her out, really, really into that at the moment, and then there's the Tears for Fears as well. Right, so what else do I want to tell you? I've got some other exciting news to tell you. But before I get to that, I must make a shout out to the band that I am currently in as a keyboardist, and that is Mesh. I've been in Mesh for over a year now, 15 shows under my belt, and we have a show booked in Dresden in Germany on the 14th. That's right, the 14th of December. Come and check us out. Tickets are available. You can go to mesh.co.uk and get your ticket there. Germany has always been a huge supporter of Mesh. But having said that, I know that there are a lot of countries in the world that do like Mesh, and we get so many messages all the time asking us to come to America, come to Argentina, to all these different countries, and I cannot speak on behalf of Mesh, of course, but I can tell you that the new album is currently in production. Some sounding great. So I think Rich and Mark are doing some of their most inspired work ever. It just has a gravity and a real depth to it, and it's going to be a great album. So a few more shows, and of course, coming back to this special show which we're doing on the 14th. In Dresden in Germany is a special show. It's really to mark the re-release of the 25-year-old album, which is called The Point at Which It Falls Apart. This iconic album, which is a fan favorite, was released 25 years ago. It's now being remastered, re-released, and this special show we're doing in Germany, in Dresden on the 14th, is called The Show at Which It Falls Apart, which I hope does not literally happen, but that is the show. So tickets are selling well. They are available. You can get them at mesh.co.uk. And yes, I hope we can see you there. And then, of course, a couple of weeks later, I will be doing my Depeche Mode piano show in Oberhausen. So yeah, I'm spending a lot of time in Germany, so and really loving it. Okay, so let's on to some more news here. We've got a lot of news today, haven't we? So I'm sorry, I wanted to make the live stream interesting. I don't want to be too newsy and just bombard you with news, but it's good to actually have things to say rather than just chat bollocks all the time. Not that I ever chat bollocks. Okay, right. Cut. Okay, right. Tomorrow on my YouTube channel, I have my special video on Forced to Mode. Yes. Now, if you guys remember Forced to Mode, which are the world's #1 Depeche Mode tribute act, as far as I'm concerned. They are absolutely amazing. I reached out to them a long time ago and done a few interviews with them online. They are really, 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 really good guys, and we have kept in touch. But I haven't had the chance to go and see them live. So when they said they were coming to my hometown Tallinn, where I'm now living, I, of course, had to go. And we had a really, really, really good time. So this video, which comes out on my YouTube channel tomorrow, is all about that gig they did here in Tallinn at Club Hollywood. It was a lot of fun. I went in at the beginning and we did a sound check. And this video is really sort of like a fly on the wall kind of thing, where on this video you'll see the sound check, and also I go onto stage and I speak to Thomas, and he opens up, he shows me his keyboard setup, and we run through some of the songs. So if you're a musician and you love all the Depeche Mode sounds, you're going to love this. And very, very impressed with Forced Mode. These guys are the real deal. They're not like one finger players. These guys are proper musicians, and they're very competent musicians. So, and it shows in every part of their performance. So, the video tomorrow will be very, very. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once again, it's behind the scenes, me at the sound check, and we went to the DM bar afterwards. That's the Depeche Mode bar here in Tallinn, and where this photo was taken here. And we just hung out a bit as well. So there we go. That photo was taken in the DM bar. There we go. The DM bar, of course, which is the famous Depeche Mode bar here in Tallinn, which has been here for, I think, 25 years, I think. And here's a photo of behind the scenes. Yes, I was in the dressing room with them, and they were doing their rituals. And I had a chat there. There's me and Christian, just having a chat at the beginning of the video. And as I say, I was privy to, I had access all areas, and I was filming sort of this from behind. It was an amazing show, really, really good. And I did get goose flesh when I was standing there, and just when, and I admit, and this is, I'm not one of these people who goes, oh, they're better than Depeche Mode. I'm not going to say that, but I did get goose flesh at some point. It was just like, wow, the attention to detail and the way they perform and the way it sounds, and to see the Estonian audience just really, really rocking out. Estonian people are, generally speaking, are generally quite calm people. They're very, not subdued, but they're not, it's not like living in the UK where, it can be quite wild and rough, but people here are quite relaxed and calm. But it was great to see them rocking out at this show. They really, really enjoyed it. So anyway, that behind the scenes video of Forced Mode in Tallinn, which I recorded a couple of weeks ago, will be out on my channel tomorrow. So do watch that. Right, and is there anything else? There's one more thing I want to tell you, and I'll just quickly play you the video clip. And that is a track called Miles Away, the track that you just heard there. That's an original composition. That's one of mine. what's the whole idea here is, if any of you are familiar with Robert Miles, you will obviously know the track "Children." That was a very iconic song that came out in 1995, 96. It just shook the music industry because it was so different and so beautiful. This was in the height of sort of like the rave scene and the trance scene. And Robert Miles came out with "Children," which was an iconic sound, which then opened the floodgates for many artists to sort of impersonate what he was doing. Now, Robert Miles unfortunately passed away at the age of 47. I believe it was cancer. Very, very sad. It's sad that it's when people die, it's sad, but 47, it's far too young. I met Robert Miles, which I will talk about in this video special I'm about to do. I met him when I was working in Turnkey, whereas I was working as a salesman in a music retail store called Turnkey, which was in London, and that was the same store where I met Martin Gore and quite a few others. But I'm releasing a special video on Robert Miles, and in that video I'm going to analyze the song "Children" and then amongst others. So it's a video special on Robert Miles and how he inspired a whole generation of producers and myself as well. When I was always into the Depeche Mode stuff and that electronic stuff, but a lot of you don't know I was heavily influenced by dance music, and my first album, which I released in 1997, was called "In Unison 2021," and it was a dance music album. I will make it available eventually. There's so much about myself that I haven't discussed on this channel, because now that this channel is about 5 years old, I think maybe it's time, because some of you are interested in some of the stuff I've done. I just never ever wanted this channel to be about me. It's always been about the content, and it's only now that I sort of speak about what I've done and stuff because you guys asked. So in that Robert Miles special video, which I will release at the end of this month, I'm also going to release this track, which is called "Miles Away." It is my tribute to Robert Miles. The whole intention of the song is it's inspired by him. So when you hear the song, you would listen to it and go, oh, it sounds like something that he would have done. So that is it's done with a lot of respect, and I am really in awe of Robert Miles. I was always a huge fan. And so the track "Miles Away" will be featured at the end of this video, and I'm actually going to perform it live, and then it will then be made available for sale on my Bandcamp, and it will also be on Spotify, Apple Music, and all those places. So, and of course, if you guys like this song, I've received a lot of positive feedback on just that video clip so far. A lot of people said they like it a lot. Hopefully you'll like it, and if you guys like it, then I will possibly release an album in that style. Now, this is very different to my other music. Hold on. You guys know I have that alias, which is called Vorty. Yes, and Vorty is a miserable, gloomy, I don't know, industrial kind of thing. Anyway, so I'm very proud of this album, and I do have my Vorty brand, as I call it. And there will be another Vorty album coming out eventually, but for songs like this Robert Miles tribute, that'll all be released under my name, Vaughn George, because it's a very different sound. Because if those of you who listen to the Vorty stuff, you'll know what Vorty sounds like, and anything that is not Vorty, I always release under Vaughn George, and just for obvious reasons of branding and stuff, because we can't. Just for branding, really. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, enough said about that. I think I have said everything I wanted to say. So that's it, really. We've done the shout-outs. I've told you what I'm listening to at the moment, and I've told you what's in the pipeline and what's happening. So for those of you who have asked, yes, I'm busy putting together the Alan Wilder album review series. It's taking very long. It's very complicated to do. It's actually very difficult. Reviewing Depeche Mode's music is quite easy because Depeche Mode's music is very musical and song-based. Alan Wilder's music is not. I don't mean it's not musical. It's not song-based. It's very conceptual and stuff. So but that is going ahead. But guys, let me know what you think of the format of this live stream. I think Saturdays is a good time to do the live stream, and the format I like having a structure as opposed to just waffling. Starting with a few shout-outs, and then going on to artists I'm listening to, and then telling you what's in the pipeline. Also, I am back in the UK in November for business, really, and just to catch up with friends and stuff. So if you're in the UK, I will, every time I get there, I usually put on a little meetup. So I might do another one. If you guys in London, come and have a drink. I'd love to meet you. Right, so let me take some questions now, because I have not meaning to ignore you guys. I see a lot of comments coming up here. If you have a question or a comment, speak now or forever hold your peace. Let's just quickly start over here. Someone said, you are cheating. That was a Nick Rhodes AI vocoder. Oh, yes. You know, I'm sure AI will do a better Nick Rhodes than I can, but I will still challenge any AI. Freezer, hello Freezer from the Trance channel. He says tonight you're going to go see Camouflage. Ah, yes. Camouflage are a band I've never really spoken about. I'm not that familiar with many of their songs. It was obviously The Great Commandment, and I've listened to a few. Yeah, they're very, on a very high level, and everything I've heard is very, very good. So I should spend more time. On it. So much to do. Demo Flow says you are doing great. Thank you, Demo Flow. I'll send you that tenner later. When are you in London again? Round about November. I will let you guys know when I'm in London. It's just for business and catching up with friends. I go to London quite often though, to the UK, and then also I will go and see my bros from Mesh. I'll go to Bristol and do a catch up. Speaking to Richard recently, we're going to do some more filming. So some surprises. I did a really, I'm very, friends of mine or family members of me, they will tell you like I'm a little bit of a control freak, not in a bad way, but I'm always, like when we go out, I'm always like, where's this way? I'm a very like together when I go out, like to keep things in check and everything, and I hate losing things. I never ever lose things. That's my thing. I never lose things. I never lose things. But this last trip to London, I don't know what happened. I lost my Ray-Bans. Which, you lose Ray-Bans. It's, first of all, it's stupid to spend money on glasses like that. But anyway, I lost my Ray-Bans, which I've had for. They were the Ray-Bans I used. I bought them especially for the Bottle music video. And anyway, I lost those. But anyway, the main silly thing was when I was coming through Gatwick Airport. This is when I was flying back to Tallinn. When you get to airport security, it's so stressful because you've got to unpack your bags and you've got to put the laptop in there and you've got to unpack everything. You've got to take your belt off, take your shoes off. And there's part of me going, oh, for fuck's sakes, do I look like a criminal? And I've had people look at me, oh, shit, sorry. Don't say anything when you're at airport security. Anyway, so I came through airport security in Gatwick, and then I went to sit at one of the lounges. I thought, let me get my laptop out. And I was, where's my laptop? Anyway, I'd left the laptop, so I sprinted back to the security check-in, and thank God they had it. But I mean, what a stupid thing to do, leave your laptop behind. But anyway, there's more to this. So I got back later that night, got home, and sat down, and anyway, I've got back. Anyway, a couple of days later, I've got cameras here for my YouTube channel, obviously. And I was walking around going, where's the camera? Where's the camera? Anyway, to cut long story short, I'd lost a camera, a DSLR camera. I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so I got in touch with Gatwick Lost Property, and they found it. I'd left it there. So I'd actually gone through security, left my laptop, and left my camera. And I lost my Ray-Bans as well. I mean, so I've had to have a real sit down with my stuff, with myself, and I just thought, well, yeah. So I think I was turning into Joe Biden. Anyway, was that too much? Anyway, so let's take some more questions here. Have I ever met Nick Rhodes? No, I have not met. No, I haven't. No. Some people have said I should interview Nick Rhodes as Nick Rhodes. In fact, I think he's got a very good sense of humor. I think he might be up for it. And just I know some of you have asked for more Nick Rhodes, and I will. Now that I've cut my hair so short, I don't know if I can do the Nick Rhodes impersonation anymore. I might need to get a wig, just because I've cut my hair so short, I can't do the Nick Rhodes impersonation anymore. Anyway, too much information. Freezer says, I like the new versions of Vorti neon views that you put on your videos. Is this version going to be released one day? Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, I did a new version for the opening of the YouTube channel. I suppose I could make it available. Yeah, that debut album I did called Love and Industry was very, very, very popular with the Vorti fans. They like that. I mean, by the time I got to this point, I think it had gotten so dark. And, this album really was a lockdown album. I did it during lockdown, and it was a very dark period I was going through because I was suffering from long COVID and everything. And as proud as I am of it, it's quite hard for me to listen to. So that's why I really enjoyed just moving on to something lighter and just, working on this new single. It was just nice to do something light for a change. The world has just become a very dark and serious place. And I find myself really gravitating towards lighter music now these days. Having done so many years of the likes of Depeche Mode and stuff, and just move on. Rudiger, are you into the production of the new Mesh album? Well, no, not hands-on. I mean, I will hear the demos and stuff, and I will give my opinions and stuff like that. And if my opinions sway some of the production, then I suppose you could say I am involved in that way. But remember, Mesh are essentially a duo. They are Richard and Mark. I am part of Mesh, but I'm part of the live band. So Mesh are it's a little bit like Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode are David and Martin, and then they get the other two guys on stage. Although, we don't want to compare Mesh with Depeche Mode. I know we get that comparison a lot sometimes, so I don't even want to associate with Depeche Mode, not in a bad way, but it's just, a lot of people sometimes always want to hear Depeche Mode in everything, so I get that. Alison said, I was, and he was a true gentleman. I assume you're talking about meeting Nick Rhodes from Duran Duran. Of course, I am a real gentleman. I'm sure he is a real gentleman. Secret Symphony says, stress and anxiety can make people forgetful. You're probably talking about my camera that I lost and everything. You're right, actually. And you know something? Since I moved to Tallinn here, I'm a much better person. I realized this when I go back to London. The stress is just so high, and I'm not slagging London off. It's my city, and it's where I spent most of my life. But you just really have to adjust. And another thing that is, I'm going to release a video soon. Now that I've been living in Tallinn for a year, I'm going to release a video on what it's like living here versus London. But I will try to be as measured as possible because, there are many things about London that really piss me off and really upset me. But and frustrate me. They've dropped the ball there. But the UK is just in a state, and it upsets me. It really upsets me how things have gone there and are going. And I'm an optimist, so I'm not reveling in this. I'm not ranting. I just say I'm really concerned with the UK. I moved to Tallinn because of personal reasons, because my daughter. London was also just becoming so expensive and crazy, and my long COVID has been a lot better since I've been here. And just little things like, if ever you come through Tallinn, when I went to the Forced to Mode gig, I had quite a few friends from the UK come over and visit me and see Forced to Mode at the same time. And everyone that came here was so blown away by Tallinn, just by how clean it is, how organized it is. And a few of my friends were very, very impressed with the nightlife here, how safe it is. Like, you go into clubs and clubs just feel safe, and there's no dicks walking around, and there's no aggression. Or like you go to like a McDonald's here in the middle of Tallinn at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's calm, there's clubbers and young people there have just gone clubbing, but it doesn't feel aggressive. You go to fucking Burger King at 1 o'clock in the morning in Oxford, where is it, in Leicester Square? They've got security and doormen on there, and it's not a nice place, London. So I say this. I'm ranting now, I know, but this comes from a place of concern, because I moved into London in 1999, and I cannot believe how that place has changed so much, and how people they've just let it change so badly. It's a bit of a sore point, but and I suppose it can be said about a lot of big cities. But the Estonians have really got their shit together here. They just they seem to invest in the right things, and there's big sort of investment in families and children, and things like that. And these are things I will address in a video. It's just quite shocking when you leave London. You've lived there most of your life, and London's meant to be this big, the forward-thinking pillar of all things technological and finance. But then you go to a little country like Estonia that no one's ever heard of, and you go, hang on, this is so much more thoughtful and so much more humane. So I hope that the big Western the big sort of Western European countries, I think they can learn a lot from these little countries, because they've really got their stuff together here. Anyway, I'll speak more about that in a specialist video. So if you've got any more questions, keep them coming, and then we're reaching the hour, and then we're going to stop the live stream, because I'm not going to do one of those 4-hour ones like we did last time. Okay. Oh, I almost sounded like Nick Rhodes there. Okay, right. Freezertron says, I saw you were not singing and waving hands on the Forced to Mode concert so much. You seemed quite serious, and you were just standing still on the side. Did you enjoy it? Freezer, did I meet you? I met you. You were there, were you? Now, this is not my memory going. Yes, I was standing on the side there. I looked quite serious. Yeah, I was standing on the side and I was just filming. I'm a little bit. Yeah, people have noticed about me. When I go to gigs, I'm quite. I'm a little bit boring, actually. I'm quite, because it's like, I'm like in work mode, and I don't sort of jump around and like I'm just at work. So no, I really enjoyed it, but I guess I was in work or analysis mode. But no, me standing still and looking serious was probably not. Sometimes people say I look serious. Most of the time, I'm just confused. My whole life, I'm just just get confused. Anyway, not by Forced to Mode. Anyway, cut. God, I had a coffee before this, and I've had a few. I've had 3 today. I'm buzzing now. Anyway, I've got any more questions coming, guys, and then we'll call it a day. But I'm glad with the way this live stream has gone, just with the format and everything. And I'd love your comments on that and feedback. And please keep the interaction going. As you guys know, this is your channel as well, and it always has been. And I'm always your feedback will inspire me for the direction with everything. Freezer says, I just seen the video. We haven't met. We will meet in Dresden, possibly. Oh yes, because Freezer, yeah, you've been following my channel for a long, long time. I do know the name, and I did meet a few people at the Forster Mode concert. So I just thought you may have been one of them. Rudiger says, I think as a musician, you probably analyze what's going on stage. And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, I think as a musician, I think you can never turn off that analytical part of your brain because you're always analyzing, But it was very, very enjoyable. Demoflow says, have you listened to one of Christian Eigner? He makes his drum. Oh, are you talking about Christian Eigner from Depeche Mode, the drummer? His solo music. Yes, actually, I saw someone sent me a video clip from YouTube, and I mean, he's incredible. He's an incredible drummer. He's very, very good, and it was quite good seeing him. I saw a few of his videos of him doing stuff, and he's a master drummer. He's incredible, and when I watched some of those videos, I went, okay, now this is where he is. He's very good at this. Is where he is. Him with Depeche Mode, yeah, it's not. I don't know. I just feel he over drums sometimes. He's better than he used to be, but so far as his ability, his ability as a drummer is unquestionable. So coming back to those videos you're talking about his solo music, when you see him doing his solo music in his universe, it's brilliant. So Murat, I beg your pardon, Murat, sorry, hello Murat. Hey Vaughn, any chance we see you in Belgium with Mesh or Solar? A very, very good chance. Yeah, the whole Mesh is a big operation, so it's a lot more. It takes a lot more thought. But I know there's definitely a market in there, and I personally would love us to do more shows, and I know the guys are up for it too as well. There is a very good chance of me doing piano solo shows in Belgium because they're a lot easier to put on. So I'm busy talking to a few promoters at the moment in Poland, London, and so yeah, there is a very good chance of me going there. Missy Spence 73. Hello. 73. Bless you. Is that the year you were born? You young girl. You're saying, yes, it's a mess, Vaughn. I'm in the UK. Yeah, I know. And I mean, I don't like to speak like this because it sounds like I'm hating on it. I'm not. It comes from a place of, come on, guys, sort it out. It comes from that. And it does break my heart. Although I'm living in Tallinn, I very much in my mind live in the UK. I'm in contact with the UK all the time with work and stuff, with business and stuff. And a lot of my friends and a lot of people are having a hard time there. And it is really, really hard. It's upsetting. It's really, really upsetting. So when I talk like this, it's not coming from a place of me being a dick. I'm just really, I'm a concerned dick, I guess you could say. Carla waving from the gym. Oh, on the treadmill? Or go on, give us a clue. Only you would be watching us in the gym. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Interesting. I sometimes think when people comment, I always think, I wonder where they are. Are they? I think most of you are just sitting on the couch, aren't you? You lazy bastards. But there's Carla waving from the gym. You go, girl. Rudiger says, he's a great drummer, but he smashes all of Depeche Mode songs most of the time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I've said so much about the whole Depeche Mode thing, and I must say, I'll talk about it a bit later. And I don't mean any disrespect by this. I think people know me as being direct and honest, but within that, I never, there are a lot of you that value my opinion, but at the same time, I offer that opinion as just an opinion. I never profess to be an expert on these things. I'm just a guy, and I give my honest opinion. I'll talk a little bit more about this, but when I went to the last Depeche Mode shows, and they were very, very good. I didn't enjoy the Spirit tour, but the last tour was very, 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 very good. The last album was better and everything. But when I watched them live, and I thought to myself, I don't recognize them as Depeche Mode anymore. And because as I'm watching the stage, I'm seeing Dave and Martin, and I'm hearing Depeche Mode songs. And I'm going to give this credit to a special guest I'm going to bring onto my channel. I'm not going to give his name away, but he's a mate of mine, and he's in the industry, and he knows his stuff. And he had a very, very, very good way of seeing it. His feelings on the current Depeche Mode setup are a lot like mine. And he said he thinks Depeche Mode should abolish or just do away with the Depeche Mode, just stop with Depeche Mode and go out touring as DM, as in Dave and Martin. And that was very clever the way he suggested that, because I know there are some of you going, oh, no way, man. And I'm not hating on it. All I'm saying is that look, the shows, the way they are now, they're brilliant. I'm not knocking the quality or the musicianship or the production or anything. All I'm saying is that the way Depeche Mode present themselves live now and everything, it's not Depeche Mode. It's Dave and Martin. So if they were to go out as DM, Dave and Martin, just doing Depeche Mode songs, then I think I don't know, it's like there'd be less criticism on them. And it's very difficult for me to say this, because there are some people that hear this as me hating on them, and I'm clearly not doing that. I'm just like a real nerd, you know this, like with Depeche Mode. And a lot of producers and people in the industry and who actually worked on the albums, although they won't say it publicly, they agree with me. They don't think it's what it used to be. So, and is this the Alan Wilder thing? Yeah. Yes, to a large degree it is. But there's also the Fletch thing as well. You know, Fletch not being there anymore and Alan's not there. It's just Dave and Martin. So it's not Depeche Mode anymore in my mind. I go there to the new shows. I enjoy them. I think they're very good. I think they're really, really good. But to me, it's Dave and Martin. It's not Depeche Mode, because Depeche Mode was very specific in its in what it was. And what I'm seeing at the moment is Dave and Martin singing Depeche Mode songs, and it's not Depeche Mode. I probably should address that in a video later. Once again, just my opinion. Yeah, just my opinion. Right, I seem to have frozen. What's happening now? I don't know if you guys can still hear me. I'm looking at the screen. I seem to have frozen. Good. Okay, it's funny. I just put my thumb up now, and this silly little thumb icon appeared on the screen, and I seem to have frozen for some reason. Can you guys just tell me what you can see? Because I'm looking at my screen and I can see there's a thumb up on the screen, and I'm frozen, but you can still hear me. This is just bizarre. I don't know. You see, this is AI again. I'm like this old man ranting. I'm like, I was talking, I put my thumb up, and then, yeah. Okay, so you can hear me, but you can't see me. Yeah, so I don't know what happened there. I was just talking, and I put a thumbs up, and then the thumbs up just froze the screen. That's weird. Anyway, well, at least we're ending it on a thumbs up positive note. I think I've said everything I wanted to say, and I can see a lot of you are coming on now. But I'm going to end this here, guys, because I want these live streams to be a little bit more focused. And also, if you missed the live stream, this will actually go up onto YouTube now, so you can catch up with us if you're not watching this live. So for that reason, I don't want it to be too long. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for your support and everything. I really, really appreciate it. I can never say it enough. I never take it for granted. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream, video, mesh concert, or live piano event, or meet and greet. Wherever you are, be awesome. Lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. I'm Vaughn George, and this is the VG channel. Lots of love. Bye now.